Hello, 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 hello to all of my socialites and my celebutants across the country and beyond. I feel like I've been away from you guys for so long, which probably has everything to do with the fact that my Twitter account has been suspended. And as many of you know and who have reached out to me, you're well aware of the fact that the account was suspended 5 days ago. Someone tried to hack into my account. To make a long story short, they entered my password 5 times, or a password 5 times. They were unable to access the account. Somehow, some way on the 6th try, they got in and sent out some spam. Twitter administration became aware of it, suspended the account due to suspicious activity, and by their rules and regulations, based on everything that my attorney has shared with me in dealing with the administration through Twitter, that they have up until 30 days minimum that they can take to investigate my account. So, I was just going to leave it alone and let the 30 days go and let them do what they had to do, but I really miss you guys so much. Like, I really miss interacting with you guys and posting stuff and, having that everyday sort of connection, being able to read your responses to things I say. So my beautiful and very supportive assistant Stacy has created a temporary page for us, twitter.com/ZimmyBear. Many of you know that Zimmy Bear is like my little cutesy nickname. So please, by all means, follow us, twitter.com/ZimmyBear. I will update regularly as I've been doing since February when we first opened the original account. And hopefully the original account will be up this month. Meanwhile, I am a single man again. Yes, I am. I am single, and it feels good. I'm not going to get into all of the details referencing what happened in the relationship and why things didn't work out. But please know it had nothing to do with that best friend. It had everything to do with me. To be honest, the entire thing is my fault. But once again, that's for another video. I'll talk about it maybe later on. But, I wish him well. He's a great guy. Wonderful spirit, very nurturing, very supportive, intelligent, all that. But Zimmy Bear is just a little bit selfish right now when it comes to my career and my time and my space. And even though I thought I was ready to open myself up to a new relationship and to a new individual, I'm not. I'm just really not. And that's to make a long story short. But because I'm kind of like on the market now, I want to do a reality show. For the love of Zim VanAdams, help me find a date. I kind of just spent time with a dude. You could call him the trade. The dirty trade. He and I sort of, you could say, met back in October, November of 2008. When things first started to climb for me, he was one of the many across the country that sent me messages, and he would share his story with me and things of that nature. And we never kind of hooked up because I was on the West Coast, of course, and he was on the East. So we never really got together. And we finally, over the weekend, had a chance to really chill, really hang out, And I haven't spent time with the trade in 2 years. It's been about 2 years. I'm going to say 2007. Yeah, around 2007. So it's been a while. And it's funny, hanging around and being around the trade, because you really get to see some of the differences between them and ButchQueenz. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with ButchQueenz versus trade is sort of the dudes in our community who are unclockable. You know what I mean? Sort of they can trade between heterosexual environments with straight men and women and sort of gay environments with gay men and women. Like, they present sort of those stereotypical masculine alpha male mannerisms and the way they dress, the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they carry themselves. They're unclockable, not DL. There's a difference. But, you wouldn't just look at them and say, oh yeah, he's gay. ButchQueenz are different. ButchQueenz in the sense of they're neither masculine nor feminine. They sort of fall somewhere in between. They're they can have boyish qualities and then have certain feminine mannerisms when they say certain things or hold their hand a certain way. And oftentimes they, even if they do sort of portray, this boyish bravado, they may wear the skinny jeans and the v-neck tight, t-shirts and the colorful sneakers, and they be, when Beyonce comes on in the club and I'm a single ladies, oh, I'm a single, you know, they go off. That's that's sort of like something me and my boys joke about. Sort of like you can really tell a difference between the trade and ButchQueenz, because when Beyonce comes on in the club, all the ButchQueenz go running to the middle of the dance floor and go off, you know. And it's real cute. It's cute. But I got to spend time with this dude, you know, and this little trade piece over the weekend. And it was just weird, you know, only in a sense that hanging around ButchQueenz, dating ButchQueenz, you know, being friends with ButchQueenz, it's just been my experience over the past 8-9 years. ButchQueenz tend to be a lot more open, a lot more free-spirited, more compromising in what they will do and won't do, open to music and the world, and they're not so cautious as to what they say and what they do when they're out in public. Trade, you know, because oftentimes trades still acknowledge themselves as being, I guess, gay or bisexual. A lot of times they say they're bisexual. Trade pieces tend to be very cautious of their behaviors and the people who are around them and what they do and who they're with and what they say and how they act and blah, 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 you know. And a lot of the trade pieces I've met and sort of dated and messed with over the past 8-9 years tend to be sort of secluded, you know, spend a lot of time in the house to themselves. They have a very small group of friends or associates they deal with. They're very secretive and private, which is cool for me 50% of the time, because contrary to popular belief, I really am in a lot of ways a homebody. I am not as social as people think that I am. I am when I'm out in a public environment, but when I'm not, which is the majority of the time, when I'm behind closed doors, it's just me and I just do my thing and I'm cool, you know what I mean? So it's a good get along between me and ButchQueenz, as well as me and Trade. But like this dude, you know, I think what's so amazing about him was the fact that, you know, even though he smokes, which is something that I can't really stand, and I don't mean cigarettes, but oh God, we had one of the most prolific conversations I've had in a very long time. And he was able to just like tackle certain issues and discuss certain things in ways in which I'm just totally unfamiliar, not totally unfamiliar with, but ways in which I've not stopped to think about in a very long time, or to examine life on certain levels. And he just kind of like spit things out. You know, when people are high, you know, they tend to think beyond the earthly surface anyway. So, you know, that was just so amazing. But his damn fingernails was just so dirty. You know, I'm not big on fingernails. Like, I don't get manicures. Like, I get my feet done, and I've never been the type to really get manicures. But I just, when a dude's fingers are just so dirty and they want to offer you food and you kind of just don't want them to touch your plate, like the trade don't clean their damn fingernails, but ButchQueenz do. You know, that's why I love a ButchQueenz. ButchQueenz are so clean. You know, they're so pretty, so cute and adorable. You know, you don't have to worry about, well, wait, now let me not say that, because I've been in some ButchQueenz homes where it's like I didn't even want to pull my pants or pull my stuff out and piss in their toilet. Like, that's how dirty the toilet was. So I don't want to, all ButchQueenz aren't clean. Now, yeah, let me not put that out there, because that's not true. Now, that's not true at all. That's not true at all. But many of them, the ones I've dated, the ones I hang out with, are. You know, Trade, on the other hand, is kind of like, you know, it's sexy because it's almost just like, you know, you forget that, you know, it's almost just like being in the company of the dudes who you sort of fantasize about when you think about your first relationships and interactions with men, if you can understand what I mean. You know, it's like a fantasy come to life in a sense. I'm stretching a bit. I'm reaching a bit, but in a way that's what it is. But yes, I have so much respect in this community for all of my brothers and sisters as well, you know, for all of my brothers and sisters as well. And so I ask of you, for those of you who are viewing, what do you prefer? Do you prefer to date ButchQueenz, or do you prefer to date the trade? You know what I mean? Like, what are some of the benefits of dating one versus the other? And share with me some of your experiences, things that you've endured in dealing with one versus the other. I'm very, very curious. I'm very curious.